Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dion and I do have a doctorate degree in psychology, hence the comma PhD in my channel name. I speak both from a clinical perspective and also a personal perspective because I want to be relatable and to not talk at you. I want to talk with you, give you some things to think about, and in sharing some personal examples, I think helps that process. And so this video is about, do you love someone or do you love the idea of someone? A quick example that really just popped in my head right now as I said that statement is how people say, you'll find a good man or a good woman in church. And so you start going to church because you're looking for a good man or a good woman. But if that's the only reason you're going, does that make you good? You're going to church to find a partner. Okay. I want you to think about that. Because if you're just going to church to find a partner, that doesn't tell you anything about that person, except they're in the same place that you are, but you don't know anything about their intentions or their motivations. And I will say from personal experience, I do know people who didn't go to church. They started going to church. They met someone, they started dating, and they got married, and then they both left the church. Mission accomplished. They did what they went to do. The idea of loving someone is you have a picture in your mind of the type of person you want. And I don't get the thing about height. Like, women want men who are taller than them so that they're not taller than the dude when they wear heels. I'm like, short dudes be scrappy. I don't care what they say. Just because somebody's big doesn't mean that they are capable of protecting you. And I get that that's what the theory is if they're bigger than you, they can protect you. But I know some big dudes who are like really just soft, cuddly people. And I know some dudes who are smaller than me. I'm 5'7.5", and they're just like, dude, I will fuck you up. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. What I'm saying is height does not a perfect match make. Size does not make someone a good match for you. The idea of someone, loving the idea of someone versus loving that person, he needs to be at least 6 foot tall. He needs to have a 6-figure job. He needs to have a Mercedes Benz. He needs to have his own 5-bedroom, 4-bathroom house with a pool in the backyard, and a sauna and a hot tub and whatever else. But what does that even say about his personality or his character? You can meet an asshole who has those things and you're with that person because they have all of these material possessions and they can financially provide. And you may be miserable, but you stay because he has all these great qualities. He has a good job and a nice house and a nice car and the pool and the sauna and a hot tub and blah, blah, blah. That's the idea. You love the idea of having certain things or the idea of a person looking a certain way, which is shallow, to be honest with you. Think about it. What's more important, looks or personality? Good character. Think about that. And so when you find yourself in a relationship with someone who checks all the boxes of what your idea of a perfect person is, but then over time you realize they're an asshole, and you still stay because they have all this other good stuff going on. What's more important, the stuff or the person? That's what I want you to ask yourself. When you meet someone and they seem to check all the boxes of the things that you want, that's just an idea of who you want, but it's not even a who. That's an idea of what you want in a person without taking that person's character into account. So that's what I want you to think about. What's more important to you? And if you're wanting, the big house, the fancy car, the 6-figure job, what are you bringing? Are you working at Taco Bell? but you want someone with a 6-figure job. I'm not going to say it doesn't happen, because it does. Because they want someone that's going to be dependent upon them, and you want someone that's going to take care of you. So it could be a good relationship. You may tolerate more than you think you would to stay in that relationship as far as their personality and their attitudes, and it may be vice versa with them. They might think you're a skank, but they're like, she's not going to leave me because she needs me. It may or may not be true. So what's more important, the idea of the perfect person for you, or who that person is, period? Who are they on the inside? Is that the type of person you want to give your time and energy and your love to? And so that's what I want you to think about. Are you in love with the person, or are you in love with the idea of the person? And the same could be said for, I just saw my sweatshirt on a chair, that gray sweatshirt, and I'm like, what is that? I forgot that that was there. Sorry about that. I am so easily distracted. And so, what was I saying? Someone can, potential. That's what I was going to say. Try not to just be with someone because you see that they may possibly have an inkling of potential. So you stay because one day they're going to be awesome. They might not be motivated to be whatever picture you have of them in your head. So don't stay with someone or be with someone thinking they'll grow up over time, or they'll do such and such over time. If they're not already going in that direction, if they're not already walking in that potential, don't just be with them hoping one day they get there. And I see that happens a lot. Well, when I met him, he had drive, he had ambition. I'm like, well, did he really? Because if he did, he would still have it, and he would have been working with that ambition and that drive, and he wouldn't still be in the same place now that he was 5 years ago. So if they're not motivated, actively motivated, because people can say, oh yeah, next year I'm going to school. Why next year? And you can start by like taking one class like right now online. And so don't love the idea of someone so much that you are allowing reality to be overshadowed with your thoughts and with your ideas, because it may not turn out well. At the same time, though, if somebody is actually working towards their potential, they are actively motivated, they are in school, they're taking courses because they want to have their own, auto mechanic shop. And so they're, taking classes and learning different things, or whatever it is that they're doing. They're taking computer classes because they want to have a computer tech job. Okay, then that's fine. They're working towards it. Stick around, because they are actively pursuing their dreams. But if they're not pursuing their dreams and they're just like, oh yeah, I'm going to have this great computer company, what are you doing right now to get there? And do you want to hang around hoping one day it really happens when they're not even doing anything to help move them along in that direction? And so don't love, well, I'm not going to say don't, because you can do what you want to do. I suggest really learning who the person is and whether or not you can love them for who they are, versus loving the idea of who you want them to be, and care more about who they are inside versus their material possessions and what they can physically give you. Because anybody can give you physical things, but what is the motivation? What is their intention? And the same goes for you. If you're on the flip side, think about why. Yeah. So I'm going to leave this video here. If this made you think, thumbs up, leave your comments below, leave your thoughts below. If you have any questions, leave those below. If there's any topics you specifically want me to talk about, let me know that too. And thanks for watching, and you'll see me in the next video. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Thank you. You'll see me soon.